Yeah, 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 Urko. Hey, hey, look. Yo, what's up? I go by the name of Steph Urko, and welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Dungeon. How's everybody doing this beautiful weekend? I know I had a great weekend. How you doing today, co-host?
I'm great. I got in just before the rain, so even better.
Nice. We still gotta get you a nickname, so we gotta come up with something.
There's a list, we'll do a poll or whatever, figure
Yeah, that'd
something
be a good
out.
idea. Rojo, what's a good they somebody gonna be like pink headphones? Uh, that'd be a good one though. Rojo headphone. No, the rojo is red. What's
I don't know what pink is in Spanish.
we need
I'm
Afro
so
Puff on this
sorry.
damn episode.
Oof.
but but
How are you though?
you know how I'm always kicking like a donkey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yes.
close your eyes if you want to. But it's hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. This weekend has been blazing. You know what
I
I'm saying?
loved it. I felt like I was in my element.
Yeah, man, I got some things done, you know what I'm saying? I was working out, you know what I'm saying? I was doing some errands. I was down South Street yesterday. Yeah, you see them guns.
Mm-hmm.
I was down South Street. It was nice out and stuff like that. It was just blazing. You know what I'm
It
saying?
did kind of come out of nowhere,
Yeah, it did.
but I liked it.
It just snuck up on you and stuff. So I'm still kicking it, you know what I'm saying? This melanin gonna get a little tan, you know what I'm
Yeah, I know, like I'm loving this. I'm having a
saying?
great time.
You trying to be out here looking like Taraji P. Henson by July,
That's the goal. That's the goal.
huh?
Yo, I hate you, Jody. All that.
Say first of all, I hope ain't that toxic. I hate you, Jody. But yeah. So hope everybody's staying safe, and let's get right into it. So today's episode, we talk about self identity. You know what I'm saying? And this is gonna be interesting because we're mostly talking about self identity in the Black community. And let's get right into it. So you want to start off with the first term, so that
It's not a term,
okay.
but I have come across a few TikToks of Black men frolicking. They show videos of themselves just outside, enjoying the weather, enjoying their surroundings, and they're just frolicking outside. And personally, I like to see stuff like that because it shows Black men being carefree, having fun, enjoying themselves. It's safe, it's not any of that mess that we're used to seeing. And I'm just, it's just exciting to see that because I think that for a long time, a lot of Black men may have felt pressured to be a certain way, like you have to be serious or you have to be tough, you have to be strong all the time. So it's nice to see that balance of carefree and silliness, but like you can still be yourself, you can still be a Black man, you don't have to lose that. You just soften up a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we were talking about this earlier this week too. Talking about like when we were deciding the topic, and we were talking about how you've been seeing a constant change on social media platforms where it's like you see like Black people into being vegans and into like
Mm-hmm.
plant based and stuff like that. Aren't you see Black men aren't afraid to be as carefree and expressing themselves, and it's not being always have to be hard and aggressive. We can just express ourselves in any way that we want to and stuff. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I have been seeing that. I've seen like certain Black owned pages on like Instagram where you see Black men like that. You see like the little flower in the air and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or got the dreads and stuff like that. Or he has a plant, and like call him his plant child and stuff like that.
Or like they're cleaning their house and they're like dancing to music as they clean or like cooking and like, doing stuff like that.
Right. So we're seeing more carefree. So I guess I gotta be the one to play devil's advocate. So it's like you like but
Yeah.
so I guess for me I do see it, but I don't really see that as the majority because like I said before, I mostly see this stuff on like social media, but it's very rare to really see like in like real life. You get what I'm saying?
Um, I will agree. Like I wouldn't say like I wouldn't go as far to say it was the majority, not by any means, but I do
Hmm.
think that it's becoming more of an option where I don't think many people were willing to explore it. Like I don't want to say his name and put him on blast, but there's a guy I go to acting class with, and he's this young Black guy, and he gets his nails done, and he like is very on top of like his fashion and his hair and like taking care of himself. And it's not necessarily like feminine or anything like that. It's just taking pride in who you are and like how you look and the way you present yourself. And I think that that's also something that maybe wasn't in the forefront for Black men. You know, like sure you get your shape ups or whatever, but like the idea of like keeping your nails groomed or like being into fashion and things like that was like, oh, you're doing too much. But now it is something that you can be open and do because it's something that you like, and if you're doing it for yourself, it's not necessarily because you want to like show that you're this guy and you're the man or anything. It's just like, yo, I want my nails to look nice. I want to look cute. I want to have a good outfit. Like I want my hair to look good. Like, why not?
Yeah, I see that now. I mean, for me, like I'm more like as I've gotten older, I've really started to care more about my skin, like skincare and stuff like that.
Skincare routines.
Like, yeah, stuff like that, just to make sure I have clear skin and stuff like that. Because obviously that's a big thing now. Is like when it comes to that a lot of girls look at like if he got clear skin or not. So like I take care of my skin. Like as far as like doing the nails and stuff, like that's not really me. I've heard dudes like go get like pedicures and stuff and teach his own. It's just I don't like people touching my hands or my feet like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I you know what I'm saying? I'm a little insecure about my little toes, and I want somebody's you know,
dog your little toes.
My little toes, my little footsies. You know what I'm saying? I don't want somebody calling them corn chips under their breath. I don't know. So, but I do see what you're saying. Like as far as like guys like looking at it as now as an option when it comes to self care and being like more like carefree in certain things and stuff like that. But like for me, like I guess like the point I was trying to get at was as far as do we see that as the mass majority? Because like yeah, I feel as though I see like certain things where you see like dudes like with the different fingernail polish, or they have the kind of like the gothic clothes, or you see like them with the little crop tops, like,
like a little more alternative and
yeah,
stuff.
like the alternative styles and stuff, and you like see like different little fan pages or like and you see in the comments girls like, oh, that's so cute, like I love a guy like that and stuff like that. But like yeah, but in real life, I don't really see a lot of girls really going for that alternative Black dude, and who if she's not even alternative, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think it comes down to like you kind of just like stick to what is the thing to do. Because I remember when I was growing up, like I never fit in. I always liked different stuff. Yeah. And I was really open about it. Like, oh yeah, I love Paramore. I love Fall Out Boy. I went through my emo and goth phase and stuff and like had my little fringe and all of that. And like people to my like would be like, oh, why do you dress like that? Why do you listen to that type of music? But they would pull me aside and be like, I like that Paramore album too. But you don't want to say that in front of other people because you don't want to be different and you don't want to be like called out and not fit in. And I think that might be part of it. Like, what if these girls do like these alternative guys and they are into that, but that's not the kind of guys you go for. So like, you're not as open to being like, oh yeah, I'll watch Naruto with you. Or like, yeah, we can do this. Like,
yeah.
Maybe you just don't feel comfortable to express it because you don't want to be other.
Yeah, that's true. I have seen girls been able to express themselves more because like obviously like guys look for when guys look at a girl, they look obviously for her beauty and stuff. So I've seen like the cute girls are into like alternative or like chicks, or like they got the little like different color like the red or black little hair things and stuff like that, little earrings and piercings and stuff like that. But as long as they're cute, guys be like, oh yeah, she cute and all. But my girl like Paramore, my girl love Evanescence and stuff like that. But like I just you know you like Evanescence. You know
they making a comeback too. And My Chemical Romance just released a song, so like I feel like it's 2006 again. I'm loving it.
Oh, shit. I gotta check it out.
Not 2006, like 2008, but still.
But like the point I'm trying to get at is like I feel like as guys, as men, especially Black men, we don't have that leverage to be able to I don't know, express ourselves in different like ways as far as any other race, because I've seen white dudes or like Asians or Hispanics be able to like rock certain styles and like be anything they want to. And they be like, oh, that's cool, that's nice. But as black men, I feel as though we're put in a box. So
Yeah.
my question is, do you think it's more based on environment than anything?
Um, yes and no.
Okay.
Because I mean, I can't really speak too much for the black male perspective, but like I said, for me, like I'm from Southwest Philly,
Mhm.
and if you're familiar with Southwest Philly, it ain't too many people with like studded belts on and fingerless gloves and like,
Yeah.
all of that. Like that's not the environment for like alternative styles or like being different like that. But it's possible. I think that you just have to own who you are as a person and like what you like. Like there's no way to be black, or like there's
Yeah.
no like boxes to check off and, oh, if you like this then you're not, like that's not a thing. And even though it is hard to, when you're in a certain environment, to like express yourself and be open with the things you like or wear the things that you want to wear, because you might have people like make fun of you or like say stuff or give you a hard time, and I know that's not, nobody wants to deal with that. But I think it comes down to you just having to be like, look, this is me and this is what I like and this is what I want to wear, and deal with it. Like it, that your environment does play a role for sure, but you kind of have to rise above that and just be you.
Yeah, I agree with that because I feel like a lot of us, as a lot of black men, I feel like we let our environment dictate who we want to be. Because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of black men out there that want to express themselves in a certain way, but they're scared to see what their peers in their environment are going to say. Because let's be honest, when we're young, we're easily impressionable and stuff, and we
Mm-hmm.
care about what other people think, especially when we're teenagers. So it's like we don't want other people to be like, oh yeah, why are you wearing that? Oh, you trying to be white, or you trying to do this, or you trying to do that? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's like you said before. There's no definition on being black. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, if you're black, you can do anything you want to. But I feel like we are so put in a box. And the reason why I bring this up, and I think this is a good topic for us today, because I still see this. Like I've seen it getting better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen like a skater kid here and there. I used to be a skater too, growing up. You know what I'm saying? I see
He
like
was a
more.
skater boy. She said
But
so.
yeah, so I used to be skateboarders too, but it was only a few of us growing up. So I've seen like more black skateboarders and stuff like that, or alternative black kids. But it's just like I wish I've seen like more of that as the majority, or getting accepted more. Because like I still see like a lot of those type of kids get seen as weird. You've seen like the TikToks and stuff like that.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
they're the kids that run like the Naruto's and stuff like that. Like, oh, you know what I'm talking about, with their arms all in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
My
like,
brother also used to skateboard though,
yeah.
growing up. And I remember like no one else skateboarded on our block but him. And then
Mhm.
when he started doing it, all the other kids, like all the other black boys were like, yo, I gotta get a skateboard. Like after a while, I think it's just like a confidence, like if you do something different and you really do it
Mm-hmm.
and you don't care what nobody think, it's gonna make other people be like, hold up, what is up with this? Like, why is he so into this? And then it gets other people into it too. And then a bunch of people who probably would have never even tried it or been into it are into it now. I think sometimes you just need like a little push to get the ball rolling for people to be like, you know what? It's all right. Because remember, like back in the day when Pharrell was like doing his thing and like
Mm-hmm.
skateboarding
Hey,
started kicking off, and like Lupe Fiasco came out with Kick Push, and like all
yeah.
these people started embracing this. And then like the whole party like a rock star phase happened, and like people were embracing like sort of alternative fashions and stuff for a certain period
Right,
of
he
time.
was.
Like there have been pockets of time where like in the black community, there has been like this surge of like alternative like fashion and like interests. It's just a matter of consistency. But I think it's always there and there's
Mm-hmm.
always people there. I don't know if it'll ever necessarily be like mainstream in the forefront, but it's definitely picking up to where it's not so weird to
Yeah.
be like Black and into certain things. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true. I also think it's a class thing too, because like when it's, as far as like a hierarchy, because when you think about it too, like obviously those type of kids, like the skate or the punk rock Black kids, weren't accepted or were seen as weird or lame. But like when you think about it, it's like it's a lot of things in the Black community that we kind of put on a pedestal as far as like certain ways we dress. Like obviously, like when we was younger, like polo, Ralph Lauren polo, or wearing
Yeah.
Prada and stuff like that. We had the best name brand, the new Jordans, the new Nikes and stuff like that, to show other Black kids that we had money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if people know this, but Ralph Lauren ain't Black. You know what I'm saying? But they don't get called like being trying to be white or something like that. They just call yeah, he look like he got money. So it's like we buy
Oh yeah,
certain
that's
things.
true.
Yeah, it's like we buy certain things to impress other broke people. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be as blunt as possible, but like a lot of us like are taught to that if the nicer our clothes or the nicer things that we have, that we give the illusion that we have money. But dog,
Yeah.
you live down the street from somebody that you know you your whole life. They know you ain't got money, but you just want to
Mm-hmm.
give the illusion. But
Yeah.
it's funny what we like put on a pedestal, but we
Yeah.
like everything else.
It's more about like getting validation from other people and other people thinking a certain way about you rather than just being yourself and doing what you want to do.
Yeah,
It's very
exactly.
interesting. When you say like in the Black community, there's certain things that we put on a pedestal, like what things do you think are like held in such high regards in the Black community, but for you, you're just like, I'm not into that.
As far as like a style or just like
Anything,
certain ideals in general.
anything.
Um, the one that comes to my mind, living the street life.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel as though like ever since I was younger, maybe even back in my parents' day, and even till now, it's like I feel as though the street life or being the street dude in the Black community is put on a high pedestal. Like
Mm-hmm.
being the dope boy or being out there robbing and you know what I'm saying? I feel like we still put that on the pedestal because I still see like girls gravitate toward those type of dudes or say, girl, my dude got a gun, or girl, my dude, he got like locked up for 3 years because he sold dime bags. Oh girl, he a real one, girl. I know. And like I even see other dudes like you be surprised. I had a lot of conversations, or I'll be here over here on conversation like, hey, yo, man, what's up? Like, how you get this job? Oh yeah, I just got out of prison 3 years ago. Oh, you did 3 years? Yeah. As if that's supposed to be like some kind of
Yeah,
badge of honor. It's like, dog, you going to jail ain't cool, man. I wouldn't even tell people that. You know what
I
I'm saying?
know. I would be embarrassed. Like,
Yeah. So it's like that's one thing I see. Obviously, with the whole thing of like putting like Nike or like certain brands on a high pedestal. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
That we care about fashion or trying to impress other people that we were spending our last dime on certain name brand clothing instead of just trying
mhm,
to use that money to invest in something that can really help our future. You know what I'm saying? It's
mhm.
it's certain things like that that I still I don't know. I feel like we kind of glorify too much in the Black community, and that's kind of the reason why we get put in. We're kind of in the same box we've been in for a long time.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, what about you?
Um, I think it relates to like the topic and as far as like just always being like the strong Black woman, like you can handle it. Anything that comes your way, you can deal with it and you'll find a way to get over it. Like that's bull crap. Like you can't be the strong Black woman all the time. Like sometimes you get tired
Hmm.
and sometimes you get stressed out and you're delicate too and feminine and soft and all those things. And I feel like sometimes it's like expected to always be like strong and like you can handle anything and to just take the world on your shoulders without any issues at all. You can't like have moments where you just break down or like you cry or like anything. And that's not fair.
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't understand why we put that on ourselves.
yeah, yeah. Because I feel like we kind of put that on ourselves more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel as though like when I went to college and stuff, like I interacted with all different other like races, and this is like those certain requirements weren't like you know what I'm saying, required for other
Mhm.
races, like a white dude or an Asian dude, they can just be regular dudes. Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just a regular average dude working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like I love sports. I also love Harry Potter. I love to read and stuff like that. They can be like regular average dudes and still be seen as masculine. But for like black men, I just like you said about the stereotype you hate about black women, I kind of feel the same way about black men as far as like we have to be strong and masculine, like over masculine a
Mhm.
lot of times, like we have to be over aggressive to be seen as real black men, and it's like, no, like you don't over have to like always be over aggressive to resolve problems. And I feel as though
Yeah.
a lot of us that grew up in like the hood, we're taught that that's the solution to everything that we have a problem with. Like if somebody bump into you or somebody step on your shoes or something like that, it got to end with violence. Like it got
Yeah.
to that altercation got to end with somebody fighting or it become deadly. You know what I'm saying? So and it's like I don't want to do that. Even
And
like
I could be wrong, but like I don't think most black men want to do that. I
no,
feel like it's just the position you're in because it's
yeah,
like, okay, either I have to fight or I don't fight, and then everybody calls me a punk. So you can't win. Like,
yeah, yeah. So it's weird. You know what I'm saying? I've seen situations like that all the time where it's just like I feel as though like I've seen a lot of situations growing up where situations escalated that it didn't have to escalate onto that level.
mhm,
And it's like you said, because I feel like a lot of us get peer pressure. Oh, you gonna take that? Or you gonna let him talk to you like that? Or you gonna do that? Because if you don't take it to that level, all of a sudden you a punk or you lame or you corny or something like that. It's like,
mhm.
no, it's not that deep. But a lot of us we're taught to I, I guess it's basically on our environment too. We're taught that
Yeah,
we have to handle situations like that all the time to be seen as masculine, real men. But we don't always have to risk our lives to resolve situations. You can just do talk it out. It's okay to
yeah.
talk
You could be
some
like,
things up.
man,
Yeah,
you got it, and then
you
just
know what I'm
go.
saying? Man, these Nikes right here, man, I had these for 3 years. They was already scuffed. Don't even worry
Yeah.
about it. Do you, man? You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I don't know. That's just the pressure, and I see like black men. I've seen black women even like expect us to do that. I had a conversation with somebody, a girl. Um, it was about situations like if a dude like say something to a girl when they walking out, I expect my man he better whoop his ass or some shit like that, or he better. I'm like, sis, mind you, she live in North Philly.
And
You know
then
what
the
I'm saying?
dude like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
I'm like, oh my
All
god.
right, square up.
Let's square up. She's like, if it's a group of dudes and my man don't check each and every one of them, then I'm breaking up with him. I'm like, sis, if it's like 5 dudes and one of him, you really expect him to win that fight like
I
he
think
Jackie
he
Chan?
would like that if you broke up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm like,
thank you. Because you about to get that man jumped. Are you kidding me? That ain't
oh
love.
worse,
That's a
oh
setup
worse, you gonna die. You know what I'm saying? These dudes out here ain't fighting fair no more. So
to
it's just like,
defend your honor. Get out of here.
yeah,
Leave
right.
that
No,
man alone. Stop
it's
putting
like
him in dangerous situations.
this is not medieval times. I am not no goddamn knight in shining armor. Why I put myself in that situation? But it's like a lot of people out there that are look at things like that. That's seen as masculine. I expect my man to be like this and stuff like that. But it's just like, why? Because if I risk my life for you, it's not like you gonna never get married or find somebody else. You just gonna just mourn me and move on. Well, I just like, am I getting a trophy for this? Am I getting a statue? It's just like it was
You're
for
on the
nothing.
ground getting stomped like, tell my story.
Exactly. Remember me. Remember me. Like, no, you're not getting no honor out of this. It's just like you just risk your life for nothing. And it's like I feel like a lot of us like think I think that's one of the main reasons a lot of these dudes out here in the streets thinking that they're going to get some kind of badge of honor if they live this kind of lifestyle and stuff because that's what real black men do and stuff. And when it comes to overcoming obstacles and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
listen, I know some things in some situations you ain't got no choice but to avoid, or somebody check you or put their hands on you. That's just defending yourself. But the truth of the
Yeah.
matter is, it's a lot of situations in the hood that we can avoid from not escalating to that level. And it's like I feel like we don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think it's so easy to give into that pressure of like, you're expected to be a certain way, so be that?
I mean, that kind of goes deeper all the way back to like slavery and stuff like that. Cause like you think of the trauma and pain that a lot of us black people have gone through. like as far as like getting over racism and slavery and stuff like that, I feel like that same pain and trauma just transition over to each generation. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of us, we seen our ancestors and like the people that came before us, we seen like a lot of pain and hurt. You know what I'm saying? And we had to do a lot of things to get over that. So it's like if you got like parents that went through all that pain and hurt, they're not going to teach you how to handle certain situations in a non-violent way. They're going to be like, yo, you better check it like this because that's what we're used to. And when you're put in a certain environment, especially as Black people, we've been put in slums and low poverty neighborhoods and stuff. So it's like we've been put in situations where it's just like we have to survive, and that's been a mentality for us for a long time. So we don't think of things like we should handle it in a different or peaceful way. We think of, well, this is like the jungle and we gotta survive. So it's like if I gotta handle this a certain way, then so be it. And that just mindset just transition over and over to each generation. And it's like I said before, it's certain situations you can't avoid, but at the same time, it's a lot of situations you can avoid that don't have to end in certain ways. But a lot of us aren't used to it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what we've been taught growing up in a certain environment.
That's an interesting perspective too that you brought up, because like you said, like if you don't know any better, then you're not going to do any better. And because it is like a survival thing, like the mentality, you don't necessarily have the luxury of being like, oh, let's talk it out, or like, let me think of a different way to handle it, because you may not look at it that way. Like you might not see it as, this is my peer. You might see it as like, this is my competition, or this is someone who's like trying to take something or in my way. And that's an interesting point that you brought up in perspective, because yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of situations like that where it's like a lot of situations escalate to like lengths where it's like, dog, y'all was just playing ball the other day, and now y'all about to risk y'all lives trying to fight each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like it's weird. I don't know. Like I said before, it kind of stemmed from like slavery and stuff like that. But like the sad part about it is, I really don't see a lot of us still trying to break that cycle. Obviously, it's gotten way better, but at the same time, it's just like I still see like a lot of younger kids like still like trying to follow that cycle of saying like, oh yeah, he says something, or I'm gonna get my gun and go shoot him and stuff like that. And like, cause people, I don't know if people notice like these kids out here nowadays, they ain't fighting no one-on-ones no more like that. These kids is like they just going for the gun. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
it's been like that for a while too.
Yeah, so it's like it's getting even worse now. Because at least like when we was growing up and stuff, like if somebody had a issue, or you would just handle it after school and fight. You know what I'm saying? And it would be over with. Or somebody get their older brother or their older cousin. But now it's just it should get worse. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just wish people would try to stop being a sheep in a herd. You know what I'm saying? That's the way to describe it. It's just like you don't have to put yourself in a situation to risk your life if that's not what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't define who you are as a Black person. Being a leader means like doing what the other people won't do or what other people won't expect you to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what real confidence is. But I feel like a lot of kids are, man, whatever, such and such. My favorite rapper live that lifestyle, so I gotta live that lifestyle. Or that's how I seen the other kids in my community is, so that's how I gotta act. Otherwise, I'm gonna be seen as a punk. But you a punk either way because you trying to be the sheep in the herd. So I don't know. What you think?
Well, I was actually gonna ask you, have you ever experienced times where like you felt pressured to be a certain way that you didn't want to be, or do things that you didn't want to do as a Black man?
Oh yeah.
If you don't mind sharing.
Like some experiences?
Yeah, like if you have any.
Hell yeah. So it's like it's been times where like I've been pressured to like check somebody over a fight over something so small, like we playing basketball or we playing like street football. Like, damn, you gonna check him or you gonna let him knock you over like that and stuff like that? Of course. I am saying, and like even though when I was younger it did escalate to that level, but as I got older, it's just like, why am I ready to take it to this level? For what? This is sports. It's a game. It's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Did you come to that realization on your own, or did you like someone tell you, or like what change your point of view.
I had older people in my family tell me that no, this ain't the way to do it. But you know, when you young, you can be dumb and hard headed and stuff.
Yeah, you're like, man, what do you know?
Exactly. Like, no, I don't want to listen to you. But it's like I think I came to that realization through the help of like seeing other people go through that and lose their life. You know what I'm saying? I've seen, like, you hear about dudes that got shot over basketball games, and like, you remember such and such brother? Yeah, what about him? Yeah, he died last Thursday because he got shot for some boy. He had beef with some boy on the playground. Like situations like that, or it's like he got in a fight with some dude after school and stuff, and then like he got jumped like after school from his cousins or somebody like that. And one of my friends, they got jumped so bad they ended up in the hospital and stuff like that. So like situations like that, it came to my conclusions like, do I really want to put myself in the situations where I gotta look over my shoulder for them to come back and like do something worse to me? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and like I said, most of the stuff that happens is not worth it. So let it go. You know what I'm saying? What about you?
So many. I think like in elementary school and middle school, I've always, cause like I say dude and stuff, like, you know, and I've always been asked, why do you talk so white? Why do you sound like that? And when people would ask me that, I never thought anything of it, because when I'm at home and I talk like this, like no one says anything. So I thought I was being regular. But when and I'm Black, so I'm like, this is it. This is how I'm doing it right. But then when I go to school and other Black people are like, why do you talk like that? It did give me a little bit of a complex, and I kind of tried to act like everyone else and like talk how everyone else talked and like what everyone else liked. And it just didn't feel right. Like it just felt like I was a phony. Like I'm Black, but I'm pretending to be this version of like a Black person, and it just didn't feel authentic or real to me. And then I realized, like, you talk like that because that's you. Like, you like what you like because that's you, and that's fine. But I'm not gonna subscribe to that just because that's your thing. And then luckily, my family, like my parents, are always like, "Oh, so that you know, do your thing. It's fine, whatever." So that also helped me to embrace myself. But yeah, it was a journey, because for a long time I did struggle with like, oh my God, am I Black enough? Like, do I talk too white, or am I weird? Am I, but after a while I'm like, forget it.
So let me ask you a question. So was there any like celebrities that you looked up to that helped you like form your identity?
Yes, for sure. Tracee Ellis Ross, for one, because she was like, well, I was first introduced to her from Girlfriends. Actually, I think every girlfriend in that show influenced me and shaped my identity in a way. Okay. Because it was, and Living Single too. Just
Who was you on Living Single?
Huh?
Who was you on Living Single?
Sinclair.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Yeah. But like, showing Black women who are kind of like quirky and silly, who like wasn't afraid to be free-spirited and like into other things and be emotional, because in Girlfriends, Tracee Ellis Ross was very emotional with all the stuff that she was going through and like being stressed out and like trying to have a career and maintain your social life and all these things. Like, I just looked at that and I thought, like, that's the kind of Black woman I want to be. Like, I want to be like all those things, like a little bit silly, but like put together, but professional, but carefree and free-spirited. So I guess Tracee Ellis Ross, and now like Zoe Kravitz and like Zazie Beetz and like alternative Black women, like not necessarily alternative, but Black women who show that there's more to it than just the stereotypical Black women that I guess we always see portrayed in the media, Yeah,
I could definitely see Tracee Ellis Ross and Zazie Beetz from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see those. For me, it was Childish Gambino. Cause like just like you, I always felt like I was on kind of like the middle ground. Cause like I wasn't street enough to be with the street kids, but also I wasn't nerdy enough to be with the nerd. Like you know
Mm-hmm.
those nerdy like Iron Man and 299. Like had a
Issue
person like
7.
yeah. I'm like shut your weird ass. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I bet you don't know Spider-Man 296 when he got the web shoot. Like shut up, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I read because I grew up loving comic books, but I always feel like I had to be on the hush about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like you know what I'm saying? Because like being a nerdy growing up, obviously we like the same age. Like growing up being nerdy as a black kid wasn't seen as cool yet, but now we got all these like superhero movies and stuff. Now everyone's a nerd, but growing up it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't cool for me. So I remember watching Community. And I seen Donald Glover for the first time. I'm like, yo, he's cool as hell, but he's
Troy.
also nerd. He's funny as hell. So, and then I started getting into his music because we talked about this before. He was on a late night show and he was rapping Bonfire. I'm like, yo, he spits too. I rap. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like he was kind of like my inspiration because like seeing like, oh, you could be nerdy and also black and cool in the same time. And also like honestly, I just stopped giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like the problem with being a black kid and growing up is like it's always a double-edged sword. Like it is no win-win. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
people are gonna look at you like in a negative way for everything. You know what I'm saying? Whether you try
Yeah.
to too hard to like be street or be like, oh, you just another stereotype making the black community worse, or if you're just being nerdy or awkward, oh you're trying so hard to be white. Like I just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I had to learn as I gotten older. Like stop caring what other people think. You know what I'm saying? I just don't care. It's like if you like me, you like me. If you don't, oh well. It's like I kind of look at myself kind of like clothes and lost and found. You gonna take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care no more. So I just look at any situation, whether it's dating or friendships, whatever. I just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared to be myself. You know what I'm saying? So dudes like that. Who else? Who do you think you remind yourself of, or like who do I'm gonna put you on spot.
Ah.
Who you if a celebrity, if you had to put a celebrity to me, like who you think I remind you of?
Hmm. It's a good question because you already said it. You already said Donald Glover.
And people be saying I look like Donald Glover because my nose. I'm like, yo,
It is your nose.
See, let me tell you something.
And when you take your hat off and you see
we got to fight. Leave my nose out.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's very strong, distinct nose.
No, you did not call my nose strong and distinct. Okay.
It's a good nose.
Dang.
Powerful.
It's a powerful nose. Like
I think I mean, we talked about it before, but I think like your energy and your vibe is like Winston from New Girl, if you watch that.
Oh yeah, he's funny. I like him.
Yeah, like I don't know. You're fun. Like you give off like you're just a fun guy, but also you have your moments where you're like, hey, like you're a little bit of everything. And like you said, I think like for a long time, the only real like for black men on TV, there was like Carlton Banks.
Oh yeah.
Who was like, he wasn't stereotypical by any means, but he was kind of corny a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you have like Steve Urkel. Like there wasn't really a lot of like, you can have it all black characters.
Yeah.
So, but with Troy, it's like he was an athlete, but he was dorky, but he was like funny and he had friends and like all that stuff. And that's, I think, what it's like for most of us is that like we're a little bit of everything, and it's not just one extreme or the other. It's not like you have to either be like street hardcore, or like dorky, nerdy, corny person. Like you could be a mix.
Exactly. And I feel that is a good point too, because a lot of people don't know this. Obviously, I base my rap name off of Steve Urkel from Family Matters. I call myself Steph Urkel. You know what I'm saying? Because the cool version, remember the cool version of Steve Urkel was
Stefan, yeah.
Urkel. So I always thought like I was kind of the both worlds. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. It's like as black men, we're kind of put in the boxes like you're either or. You can't be a mix of everything. You know what I'm saying?
And I think black women too, because like as we were talking, I was thinking like, oh my God, Issa Rae, like she is for sure someone that I look at and I'm like, yes, because black women aren't just one way either. Like she's awkward, but then she has her moments where she's like coming through with the looks and the body and all the sexiness and all that. But sometimes she can be, have attitude and be confident, but be silly. Like she's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that too. Like you can't just be this one way all the time. I'm this strong Black woman. Like sometimes you awkward and you wave at somebody because you thought they was waving at you and they wasn't, and then you do the little it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, exactly. That happened to me the other day. I was like, I act like I was brushing my waves. It's okay to be like awkward and nerdy and stuff at the same time, but it's like you can be a mix of everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like that's a point that a lot of people don't really get. It's just like because I feel like people try to put you on one category, is like, or you're an athlete, or I know what your personality is, or you like to read, or you like into comic books, or I know what kind of person you are. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? I just told you one aspect of myself. That don't mean that's the only thing. Like growing up, a lot of my friends and like my family knew I love comic books and stuff. So when I told them I was like watching the Sixers game or I was like, oh, I just got back from playing basketball. You watch basketball? Hell yeah! Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really play street football and watch like that. That kind of gave me fuel because when we play street football, I would tackle the shit out of my cousin or something. Like, yeah, I don't play football. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what that makes me think of? Have you seen that Dave Chappelle episode where they was playing basketball? Charlie Murphy's playing basketball against Prince, and he was real good. It's like that. Like just because you look a certain way or you come off a certain way, that does not mean that you have the full picture. Like
exactly.
You don't know what you're getting for real, for real.
Anybody that didn't see the episode, I guarantee you're gonna love it. Just go on YouTube and type in Prince playing basketball. He's like, and your face, Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, it's like a Charlie Murphy thing, like telling his experiences. And that makes me think of that all the time and also too, it's not like an exception, like me or you or like certain Black people who are into different things are the exception, but overall Black people like this. Like I think the full picture is like we all have little things that we're into, like we all have our quirks and stuff, and that's the collective. Like all that other stuff, the stereotypes and stuff, like people might feed into it, but I don't think that's like everyone fits that necessarily. If anything, I think more people are into like anime and comic books and like the Beatles or like whatever, like all kinds of stuff, but they just don't say it. And they don't necessarily have to, but I just think it's important for people to understand and realize that it's there. And just because a Black person might be like, oh yeah, I love that song, Semi-Charmed Life or whatever. Like it doesn't mean, it just means like that's a facet of who they are as a person. Like deal with it.
And plus, like, when you really think about it, in 2022, what's really weird nowadays? You know what I'm saying? Because you look at social media now, all the different types of things you see on social media now, what is really weird? Like, back when we was growing up, you could say anime, but you see so many people now, oh, I love Naruto, oh, I love Dragon Ball Z growing up.
Yeah. Do they though?
Yeah, they're right. Do you love Dragon Ball
I'm gatekeeping, but no.
Exactly. Like, you wasn't in them trenches, like, no, but what you say, comic books, we see what Marvel has done. Marvel and DC has done with superhero films, so you can't really say that's weird. Like
even like astrology, like spirituality, meditation, like all that kind of stuff people are getting into now, or being more open and expressing that they're into it.
Can I confess something though?
Do it.
So I sometimes like those spiritual girls, sometimes they get on my nerves a little bit. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So because I feel like I like spiritual girls and stuff like that, like they're into like the horoscopes and stuff. But I feel like a lot of them be using that as an excuse, talking about, well, I'm a Aries, so that's why I'm going crazy. No, it's not. No, you crazy because you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't blame your sign or something, or like so many people look at me, you a Scorpio.
I bust your windows. I'm such a Taurus. Like, no, you crazy.
No. Talking about you, babe. You know I had to cut you. You know I'm a Scorpio. No, because you fucking crazy. You need help. You need help. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't do that.
I know it's a little bit off topic, but I think they're kind of fun. Like it is annoying sometimes if people are like into it to the point where they use it to justify like why they do what they do. But it is kind of fun to be like, oh, I'm inquisitive, you say. That do make sense because when you read your horoscopes?
Yeah, right. He's like, I'm intelligent. You tell.
Tell me more. Huh.
Indeed. But
I guess I'll allow it. Like if it's a good thing, yeah,
yeah,
this it's something to this astrology. But if it's some mess, I'm like, man, this is
exactly.
ain't
Yeah, I threw
real.
the
This
whole
is
phone away.
pseudoscience.
You threw the whole phone away just because
Yeah.
somebody said you selfish. I ain't selfish.
Ah.
But I guess getting back to the topic is I had a question. I know obviously we have a lot of stereotypes that a lot as like as a black collective we like kind of take into us. You know what I'm saying? You hear about black people or like we good at this or we're bad at this. So what is one thing or is like one black thing that you never liked that I feel like other black people like or were good at?
Hmm. Dang, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think like I don't know how big it is, but like playing spades,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never learned how to do that.
I still don't know
And
how to play.
I don't know if I actually want to ever learn because I've seen spades games and it is intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I missed the boat on that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I could play dominoes.
Yeah,
Like,
I can. Yeah, like it's too late for me for spades. You know what I'm saying? I've
yeah, I
seen
think
fights
it's
break
lost
over
on me.
spades. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't like stuffing.
I don't like stuffing either.
You know, see? You know what I'm saying? That's something I don't like. I feel like Kool-Aid has become overrated to me.
Oh, you know what? Dancing, like being a good dancer. Now, I don't know if I'm a good dancer. I've
Okay.
gotten mixed reviews, but I feel like it's expected that you know how to dance and you got rhythm and like all that. So like if I'm out trying to have a good time and enjoy myself, I do find myself feeling like eyes are on me, like, all right, what you got? And I'm like Carlton, like I got my moves that I can do, but I'm no Sierra, Beyonce popping and locking. No.
See, I don't know if you remember this, but we did. I remember you was at the same prom I was at, and I kind of saw your dance moves. I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm in my lane.
You in your lane.
But
you in your own lane, but you know.
It's one of those things I had to learn, part of like, this is me and just being yourself. I had to learn that I don't have like the best rhythm, but I can do what I can do.
A little two-step. Can you do a little two-step here and there?
I can make it work. I can do my thing a little bit,
Yeah, okay.
I know how to finesse it to make it like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I just do a quick little two-step, maybe a little spin, a little bop in, hey, oh, you know what I'm saying, to make it seem like you're doing something. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. I don't like watermelon like that.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? I'll try it. It's okay, but don't like watermelon.
Yeah, it's not my first choice of fruit if I do say so myself.
If you do say so yourself. Indeed.
I think too, like I don't know if it's like a big thing in the Black community, but for me growing up, I always heard about like, oh, considering your pets as family is like a white person thing. Like them white people and they damn dogs and all of that. Like they love their pets,
Okay.
blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah. But now that I have pets, I'm like, they are my family. Like I love my pets. So I don't think that's like Black people don't have that. Like, oh, we love like I love my pets and stuff. Like I feel like we do.
I got something for you. Yeah, I might get my black card taken for this. You ready?
What?
I don't like the wobble.
I
don't like the wobble. You know what it
What's not to like?
Listen. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna put you on. When I went to college, right? Every time I went out to the bars or the parties and stuff, all the white kids were doing the wobble or trying to do the wobble. So like, and every time the wobble came on, they was like, oh my God, Steph, come on. I'm like, I'm good. Oh, come on, Steph. I'm like, I'm good, Amy. I'm good. Leave me alone. She's like, oh my God, you don't know what you're missing. I think I do know what I'm missing. Leave me alone. I don't want to do the wobble. So for me,
is that why you don't like it? Because you were expected to know it and do it?
Yes, and it's not that the wobble's not that good. It's not that good. I'm more of a cha-cha slide, electric
I
slide.
mean, come on, that's a classic. Like, there's no comparison. But the wobble's like fun.
At the while, I'm getting tired of people saying, "Get in there." I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good.
No, it's no, yeah, it's no. So
Yeah.
it's no.
No.
It's no. But I guess the point that we trying to get to our audience is that it doesn't you don't have to fit the stereotype to be a certain black person. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's okay to like certain things or not dislike certain things. That doesn't define your identity. You know what I'm saying?
I will, I guess, end with this. What helped you find your identity now as a Black man? Like, what ultimately shaped you to be who you are? And like, how do you define your Blackness?
Obviously, I told you about the Childish Gambino thing or Donald Glover thing, but also, like I said before, just finding the ability to not give a fuck about certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I feel as though it's like it was a double-edged sword. It's like either way, I'm going to people are going to come at me for if I act a certain way, try to act hood or try to be hard all the time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're just a stereotypical black person in the hood. But also, if I try to be awkward and nerdy and stuff at the same time, or you're being weird, or you don't care about your culture, or you're trying to be white all the time. But it's like just be yourself. It's not about trying to impress a certain group. It's not about trying to fit into a certain category. It's just being yourself. And once I got that mindset of I don't care about what other people think, it's just like I was just more comfortable being myself. And like I got better reception being myself too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was just silly and goofy, you know what I'm saying? Like even when I was like approaching certain people, it was like, yo, this dude funny as hell. He the big, you know, low key. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it just helped me a lot. And I feel as though like a lot of black men, like when they're younger, like a lot of kids in general, but especially like black men, we don't have that certain outlet or we don't have those certain individuals trying to stand out to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you don't really know whether or not to be being yourself is really cool or not. And it's like they're so worried trying to fit in high school or around your peers that you don't want to look like the eyeball out. But it's like, oh, that's part of being the leader, man. Sometimes you got to be the different one to stand out. You know what I'm saying? You got to set the example if you want to see other people fall before you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I sound like a damn G.I. Joe commercial. And remember, kids, being yourself is half the battle. G.I.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
You made it, I thought it was fine. And you made it like
I made it
that.
corny. You be yourself, kids. Thanks, Steph. Ding. But you know what I'm saying? So what about you?
I guess like when I was telling you, like when I was in elementary school, middle school, and people would be like, oh, you talk white or you like weird stuff or whatever. And I did try to act the way other people wanted me to act. Mm-hmm. And for a while, I guess it worked because like I did make friends, I guess, being that way. But after a while, it just got tiring because it wasn't me. Like y'all don't like me for me. Y'all like me for this image that I created so that I would be accepted. And I didn't like that. And especially because they don't actually know me. Like I couldn't like talk about the stuff I really wanted to talk about. I couldn't do the things I really wanted to do because I have this facade up. And then it got to the point where I didn't want that anymore, I guess. Or actually, it was like a slip up where like I said something, like I was myself. I was like Mimi.
Yeah.
And I split and I said something. And then it was like, wait, you like that?
He said, what you say? You like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. And I'm like, for real? And then all of that just went away. And I'm like, all right, this is like, I'm gonna embrace this. So I guess once I got a taste of like how it feels to be accepted for your authentic self,
yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna lean into this more so that and now, you know, I'm surrounded by people who actually appreciate me. Like I haven't really dealt with much like, oh, you talk this or you act like that. It's just like, oh, that's Sylvette. And I would rather be that Sylvette and people think I'm weird and I talk weird and I like weird stuff than to pretend to be something else and people think that I'm cool and they like me, I guess.
In the words of NWA, express yourself. But
And Madonna.
I guess it's like no. But yeah, that's all I got about that. Anything else you gotta say?
No, I don't. I said it like I did have something more to say, but I didn't. I'm sorry.
Okay. And drive safely, y'all. I know it's getting hot out and people just wanna just be cruising the highways any way they want, but you're not in a rush to go anywhere. Shit, just slow down, man. And if you are, try to leave early. So that way you don't gotta worry about being late or nothing. So
yeah, we're all trying to get to the beach and the cookouts too, like
exactly.
We all gonna get there.
It's not a rush to get some potato salad. We know.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go by the name of Steph, and
I'm Sylvette.
And this has been another episode of Millennial Dungeon. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah. Ergo.